here we go. So I worked on this today. Raw. So these are the connections, which actually we're gonna do something a little different. Hold on a second. Hold on a sec. I decided to have the VMAs on a blood moon, which, Elizabeth, why were you at the Chateau Marmont? Which reminded me of this clip I got sent.
We're at the chateau! This is Megan 316. Oh, not yes. So sweet.
Yeah, I told you guys about that clip. Want to see it again? Is that interesting? That is a full circle right there. And we could make more circles just off of Doubleday Publishing, but for right now, there's just one chart. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining Connections chart. Now, I'm walking the go. Out for the bitches. Qatar got attacked. Welcome, welcome. I attempted to vlog. Not editing that out. I'm trying to get with it. Let's get some light in here. All the cats are asleep. Yeah, I attempted to vlog over the weekend. I got some nice vlog footage of us biking, and it got erased. I was talking to my mentor yesterday about it, and he's like, I told him, I'm like, yeah, I vlogged this weekend, but the footage got erased. And he goes, I would have fired you. He just goes, I would have fired you if you worked for me. I was like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, I would have fired you. Like, I would have, he was like, basically, you just should have not shown up at all. So, I know I look like crap. Sorry. Let me try and fix myself. So yeah, Qatar. Wow, this is I'm like, I'm just gonna start vlogging. Not realizing how crappy I look. Ugh. Sorry. But, you know, it's a vlog and this is what we do. And I have hard mornings. Mornings are not good. The humidity's been really bad. It's burning off now, but over the weekend, it was like 50% humidity. It was so bad. Then I was talking to Chi-Chi, who my mentor lives with. You know, who's been talking to me about all this shit. You guys know who she is. Advertising dude's mom. So Chi-Chi said it was like 70% plus humidity over there. It was so bad in Orange County. Like, she said it was even gross there. So it was like, I guess all of Southern California was swamped in with a blood moon. It was a blood moon. They had a blood moon, and MTV, damn it, my battery just went to half. You guys know, if, we'll switch it out. They decided to have the VMAs on a blood moon, which, Elizabeth, why were you at the Chateau Marmont? Which reminded me of this clip I got sent.
We're at the chateau! This is Megan 316. Oh, not yes. So sweet.
Yeah, I told you guys about that clip. Want to see it again?
We're at the chateau! This is Megan 316. Oh, not yes. So sweet.
Yeah, we're going to be showing that periodically. Not so sweet, right? So, I mean, and then the cameras allegedly for verbal-to-verbal transformational artistic purposes. Crazy Days and Nights started talking about Andre Blazah. People in the comments are calling him Andre Epstein. Yeah. I commented, I'm like, with the little devil emoji, and I'm like, excellent. My plan is coming to fruition. I'm manifesting the takedown of Andre Blazah. Yes, and lucidity is gonna help me. Yeah, remember, I'm Lucidity's mother.
The mother.
Yeah, I'm the mother. So, she listens to me and she does my bidding. So yeah, what else is going on? So Qatar got attacked. Foodie spent a week in Qatar recently. Remember, she Qatar beezed with Sasa's money? That little girl she raised money for? It's not good, man. So now, what do we have on the list? So the whole list of foodie beauty shenanigans that are my evidence for why she's some kind of spy or something. I'm just kidding, but go with it. Takes a laptop to a Cuban national. Films going over the border from Canada to the US. Marries a Syrian, moves to Kuwait, films the oil fields that were taken in the Kuwait Wars, tells us how many barrels of oil is there, points out the administration building, flies home because she got kicked out because of a kitten. Iran gets boomed. Boomed. Goes to Syria. Starts filming. Oh, guys, look. We're in the city. That then gets boomed the next day. She starts filming places that get boom. Films the highway of death. The M5. We're going down the freeway. And it's, oh, hey, guys. Oh, don't worry, the live stream's going to go out for a little bit because we're going by a military movement and they have signal jammers. Films more places and goes, look guys, doesn't this look like Beverly Hills? Gets invaded by Israel the next day, which statistically, and I'm just pointing this out, it's just a statistical fact that there is a lot of Jewish people that live in Beverly Hills. It's like, some people make anti-Semitic jokes about it and stuff. I think it's just odd that she's filming it and going, doesn't this look like Beverly Hills? And then it gets invaded the next day by Israel. Flies to Qatar to air-conditioned bees. Qatar gets boomed. Goes into Syria the back doorway. She just thinks it's great. She's eating the fake KFC and the boom booms outside are fireworks. It's great. What the fuck is going on here? Want to hear another thing. So, do you remember me pointing out a long time ago my old, I got colors. My colors for my thumb wraps. A long time ago I pointed out, that one of my subscribers started dating this guy who was a lol cow, and she became a lol cow, basically. And her name, Naked and Laughing. And then she started, like, dating King Cobra. Well, King Cobra passed away. And everybody's saying he passed away because Nell sent him seeds that were poisonous and he ate them. When I heard that, I go, that tracks. For some reason, I will meet women, like an acquaintance, and then years later, they murder their boyfriends. Jodi Arias. Remember, Jodi Arias used to serve me pizza, was in the same friends group, was kind of friends with one of my friends who was older. And we would go over to CPK, and Jodi Arias would serve us pizza. And I just thought, oh, she's so pretty because she's like trying to be a model and she's blonde and she's so pretty. And It was before she got hooked on Travis, but she was crazy back then too, guys. Jody was crazy back then too. Jody, she got mad at one of her guys she was seeing, and so she like destroyed his truck and wrapped it around. And then there was an adult store across the street from where he worked. He was a tattoo artist, and it wasn't across, it was just like right there, but, and she got like a big black and mounted it on the front of his car. Good thing it was on the, she super glued it, but super glued it on the part where the cellophane was, so it didn't fuck up the car, the truck. But yeah, that happened. So yeah, I don't know if Nell, Naked and Laughing, still watches me, but girl, if you do, I get an attorney. I get an attorney. Like, I don't know if they can prove anything, but what the fuck. But yeah, I heard that and I was like, that tracks. That tracks for me. I'll meet these women, and then years later they end up offing a boyfriend. I don't know what that's about. So yeah, I'm just trying to get with it. My body just hurts from the humidity, and then that pill I take, you know, for the tumor, it does make me, like, it makes me tired and shit. And it just, the devil's lettuce helps with that, actually. For me, it's like a reverse effect. Sorry, I have you guys on an Amazon box. I got my new helmet for riding in the box, and so, like, yeah. I'm gonna try daily vlogging more. We'll see where we get with that, but I like talking about current events with you guys, and then there's a lot of current events and things that my mentor, he'll send me to. It's nice. You know how I used to vlog a lot, and we would just go through, like, my iPad on my browser, my recommended sections, and just, like, see what was going on. It's been nice. My mentor's, like, because he's a 97-year-old man, and he doesn't leave his bunker. That's what we call this, like, little, it's basically like a suite or something. Like, they had the kitchen put in for him, but it's like a mother-in-law suite type room. And so, like, I've been calling it the bunker, and because it looks like it's funny when we do, like, talk on Signal and stuff, like, he just has the camera. We'll just turn the camera on, but we're not, like, looking at the camera. So it's like, we're just talking. Like, he doesn't, I don't know if he gets the whole, like, video camera cares or whatever, but, like, he just has it on. So it looks like he's sitting there, like, in a bunker or something. He's just sitting there, like, he's not even looking at it. He's got his ear things in, and he's just, like, looking at, like, whatever his notes are or whatever. It's just, yeah, it's weird. Centurions. That's what they call, I guess, people who are like 100 or some centurions. He might as well be there anyway, so. It's been nice to just sit there and, like, have somebody to talk to about, like, the current events and stuff. And then, like, you know, most of the time he just asks me, he goes, so what do you think about this? Most of the time, he'll tell me, like, he'll be like, hey, I saw this. What do you think about it? Can you tell me what you know about this? Or tell me your thoughts on it? And he usually does that before he will tell me, like, his thoughts on it. He usually wants to see what I picked up first. And then he, like, will point out the things I didn't pick up on, which is, I feel like, a lot. Because he's, like, triple my age, so getting old is a good thing, guys. Getting old is a good thing. That's the other thing I've learned after, you know, meeting my mentor, is that getting old is a blessing. Like, being able to be old is such a gift, like, that a lot of people don't get, or people try to take from them. So it's every day you're alive is a fucking blessing, guys. Just don't forget that. It's just been nice to have somebody kind of like a father figure to talk to and listen to me, because like I don't have the grandfather I was close to died when I was he passed away when I was 12. And then my dad, he was around and he was fun to talk to, but he was almost like an uncle. Like it reminds me of Charlie Sheen in 2.5 Men, that dude who lived on the beach. That's kind of like how my dad reminded me of, like that dude. Like an uncle who's a bachelor, or was. When I knew him, he was mostly single, and then he started dating someone, and that's when my dad didn't need me around anymore, because he had other people to fill my spot. And that's just how he saw his life, is like little slots, and he would just fill those slots with people, and I didn't realize that till I was older. That's neither here or there anymore. I've had so much therapy over it. It's sad, but it's a reality. So it's nice that I've kind of found someone else I can talk to who's like a father figure, you know? It's nice. Isn't that going to be a Taylor Swift song? She's got eldest daughter. Is it father figure? I know. I need to get dressed. I'm just like, I think I'm going to stretch here on the floor, pick up a little bit. Oh, I should show you. So I have been working on my art. Here's my little, I've been writing in this a lot. Just like, remember this is like, they call them dump journals or whatever. This isn't a journal. This is more of a oracle dump book journal. Chi-Chi, remember Chi-Chi told me to get a book and just start writing stuff down, like a journal, things that come up. If I'm doing tarot, if there's anything that pops up, or cards that pop up a lot, the same card pops up over, to write it down. And I don't even need to try and interpret it, just write it down, and then you will start learning symbolism. Like a circle with a cross in it means control. It's like a seal. A seal, when you see seals, like circles like this, and they say it's a seal, it's really like, back in Roman times, it was a way of doing like divination or magic on somebody without them knowing. It has to do with like Medea, the cult of Medea, which it translates into media magic. So like seeing images, and if you see certain images or signs, psychologically they will have an effect on your brain, and it alters people's behavior. Like when you see certain things, you know, like if you see a bear out in the forest, that's going to alter your behavior to go into fight or flight mode, you know, into a protective mode, right? So think of that with images, you know, like if you see an image of like war, someone does a painting of like war, that's going to have a different effect on you as a picture of a bunch of cute little cats, like Philip. So that's kind of like how this media magic plays into that, you know, is like by showing people certain images, you get them to react a certain way. And so that's what these seals are kind of, that's kind of like the basis. And then we could always talk about like the seals of Solomon, the keys of Solomon, the magic keys, lesser keys, major keys, whatever. Just writing down, like if I see something a lot, like there was one day there was a lot of hummingbirds that were landing on the little like star things out in front of our patio. And so I just looked up what the meaning of a hummingbird was. And then the little lights out there, they're 5-pointed stars. And so I looked into what 5-pointed star means and like put down different history. I even found where like the path of Venus, okay, the path of Venus as seen from Earth makes a pentagram. It makes a 5-pointed star. Isn't that interesting? And then just, you know, like, there was one day where it rained, and it was like, I didn't realize, I guess I hadn't been paying attention to the weather or whatever, that it just rained, and then we got all this humidity here the last couple weeks and stuff, so, you know, different things, like the number 5. One day, I was seeing 555 a lot, and so just, like, what does 555 mean? What does 5 mean? 5 in Roman numerals is a V. Do you know that? V for victory. Chanel number 5. 5, if you see like Chanel number 5, well, that really could be translated into the Roman numeral V, which we've seen a lot of people do this V for victory. Lady Gaga, Stephanie, which I've been screenshotting whenever I see like celebrities doing that or whatever and putting it up, which I've seen Taylor Swift do that too. And I don't know, like sometimes now I'm like, do they realize they're doing it? Is it something someone told them to do and this will give you good luck before something happens, you know? Like if you do this, it'll give you, it's like a good luck thing. I don't know. Oh, and then if you take 555 and you reduce it, you know, you do the numerology where you add them together, it turns into the number 6. Very interesting. I read about the blood moon. Okay. Key patterns. My attempt at doing key patterns. But key patterns, they would put key patterns, Romans, if you notice, in Roman and Greek art, they would put these key patterns in like their art, like in the frames and stuff, and that would generally, you know, people thought it was just like, oh, like art, but the way a key pattern, it's formed to mimic the edges of a key. So it's locking in, when you're putting those symbols together, you are locking in the magic in that circle. Do you see what I'm saying? I think you do. Yeah. So, that. I wanted to show you my art progress. I've been working on heads. Let me show you this before my battery dies. It's like bleeping at me, but look. Oh. So yeah. I'm gonna get ready for the day. Do a little appearance magic. Update later in the day. So I've been testing out, these are just regular like gator neck things, but you can use them like as like headbands and shit like that. So I wanted to make some Desert Mermaid ones, so I've been testing out. Let me show you this print real quick before I show you what I did this afternoon. Some of my art shit. Let's see. No, get out of that file. There we go. I got some PDF. You can find a lot of old books that if they've made a newer edition, the old editions sometimes will be online for free. So if you go like free, I looked at pattern books, like on how to learn about doing patterns better, you know, so I could do something different. So we got this. So we got, ta-da! So I split up the Desert Mermaid logo. I wanted to put the star in a circle, but I thought it would probably be too close to the Louis Vuitton star. So, oh my god, I've just realized that I didn't change the battery. We'll see how far we get. Whoops. So anyways, so yeah, I just did this. I'm thinking of doing a blanket, like a Sherpa blanket, like this. This is just tan, and I did the tan to match the underside, but I think it's light enough where it will look cool with this, and then this. So we'll probably get a sample. Frank really loves this blanket. He likes sleeping on this side, not this side, but sometimes he'll sleep on this side, but mostly this side. So I think I'm gonna get another one so I can get this to Frank since he's older and winter's coming. But So there's that. Let me show you. Oh, there goes the battery. Uno momento. There we go. A fresh battery. I know, I'm all broke out from the fucking ozone. Pollution. Nah. Anyway, so that is the print there. Yeah. And I figured, like, too, like, I can always do different colors and things like that. So, let's go to what I worked on. Here we go. So I worked on this today. Raw. So these are the connections, which actually we're going to do something a little different. Hold on a second. Hold on a sec. Alrighty. Oh. You can see me? You can see me? Good. Okay. We'll probably be looking down because the iPad's down, but you're looking at the chart, so raw. So anyways, so here we are, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining connections. I made a chart so this would be easier to go through in talking about the connections, but yeah, these are some of the connections. We'll just go through this and I'll show you, okay? So, we're gonna start here. Stephen King's book, The Shining, right? It was published by this publisher, Doubleday. I told you that Jackie Kennedy, she worked for Doubleday. So did Philip K. Dick. That's one of the reasons why in this picture there is the monarch butterfly. The telephone's also a reference to LSD, talking to the gods, Persephone. There's kind of a list, but they're all interchangeable, relatable. Okay, so we got the publisher who published The Shining by Stephen King, which Stan turned into a movie, The Shining. There's Shelley. Yeah. It's weird how everybody acts like it's his fault that Shelley ended up living homeless in a car for the rest of her life. Raw. Anyway, so we have that, right? So at the end of this movie, we got this picture right here, right? That was photoshopped, and they put Jack Nicholson over this guy. And it's all these people, and all these people, oops, are celebrating St. Valentine's Day. And they're doing like a dance competition thing. Well, Valentine's, because so Valentine's, we know it as Saint Valentine's, and it was about a saint, blah blah blah, right? Wrong. It's actually that story that the Catholic Church has was actually a created story from an original pagan traditional holiday, a Roman holiday, which was a Greek holiday, right? So the Romans took everything from the Greeks, basically, and then took over Egypt. We're going to be learning a lot about Roman people. Okay? So, it's a really, St. Valentine's Day is really a Roman holiday that was traditionally celebrated on the 15th, but because of calendar dates and things, it's been moved to the 14th. Probably also so that the Catholic Church could disassociate it with pagan stuff. But one thing you're going to find is that a lot of things, like a lot of gods, or like, for example, this is hard for some people, but Jesus is actually a representation of Dionysus. Okay? Dionysus, who was the son of Zeus. Okay? That's why Nicolas Cage, when he decided to do this movie, The Carpenter's Son, and they filmed it, they got stung by a fuck ton of bees, right? You know, bees are a symbol that are associated with Dionysus and Greek gods. So yeah, wasps. That's why in Yellow Jackets we see a lot of like wasp symbolism. I forget what it had to do with him, but yeah. So that's, at first I heard that story. I know this is a side tangent, and I'm like, what? And then I looked into it, and they were like, oh yeah, they were in a cave, and he was stung by all these bees while filming. And I was like, oh, that's right. Dionysus was made into Jesus, so that a lot of this time too, back when Christianity was just forming, it formed out of a lot of, like, they call them cults, but where they only worshipped one god. And it was becoming very popular around this time, was to worship one god. A monotheist religion was becoming kind of popular for some. So in order to keep control of people, they created Christianity. Okay, so Dionysus, Jesus, they're the same person basically. It's hard for some people to wrap their heads around it. But if you go back into really old, like, Greek scripture, the original text, original text, you find that these are all the same people. Kind of like how, you know, Zeus became Jupiter in Roman, right? So, there we go. So, we got the St. Valentine's Day celebration, right? Well, it is based off of a Roman holiday, Lupercalia. I can't. Sorry, I'm very American, so. Yeah, so it was a Roman festival, and it was a Roman festival to the Greek Roman god Hecate. And they would sacrifice, this is horrible, dogs to the goddess Hecate. Okay? That's why we see the dog. I know it was written in The Shining, but it's a Roman eclef, so that's why that dog. And if you read the book, the guy in the dog suit is actually treated pretty freaking horribly, because he's having a relationship, or wants to have a relationship, with the hotel owner, but it's like an abusive fetish type thing. So, right. So, we got Hecate, right? You've probably, if you've ever watched Practical Magic, you've heard Mighty Hecate make it right. Yes. Yes, so when Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are trying to resurrect her dead, abusive boyfriend from the grave, which, that's a real thing. That spells a real thing, but when they gave him the belladonna, really it's supposed to be something else. And it puts the person's body into like a stasis, kind of like we've talked about the movie Buried Alive, where they gave the guy the pufferfish poison and it paralyzed his body and put it into a suspended animation. Now, if you're given the right antidote to those kinds of things, you can survive it. But if you don't, it looks like you just had a heart attack or a stroke and you died. You were gone. You were gone. It just looks that way. And if you're not given the right elixir or whatever to counteract it, you don't wake up. Do you see how that works? And they have to do it within a certain time period, because after a certain time period, your body does die. But it's in the stasis period, okay? So, while they were trying to ask Mighty Hecate to make their, you know, her accidentally, you know, murdering her boyfriend right? So, in that movie, this is a side tangent, so that's why we got this middle wheel here. So, in the movie, the young Sandra Bullock, the young Sandy in Practical Magic is played by Gabby Hoffman. Gabby Hoffman is the daughter of Viva Hoffman. Yes. And there's, you know, baby Gabby, and then there's her sister. Her sister's got, last name is Order. I can't remember her first name. Anyways, neither there nor there. So, Viva Hoffman is the mother of Gabby, right? So in the picture of them, you can see the carpet of the Chelsea Hotel. Now, the Chelsea Hotel, Chelsea, I think I told you guys this, Chelsea in, it really means shining star, right? One reason why Stan really wanted to use this book and turn it into a movie, because it was a very good Roman clef, which means there's a key, there's a hidden meaning to the story. That's what Roman clef means. So it was a very good story to hide real things in. You see what I'm saying? If you understand the key to the movie, you understand the real story. That's a Roman clef. Okay? We've all felt it for years with Stanley Kubrick's stuff. Well, here we are. So, there's the carpet, which, I mean, it would have been cheaper just to have, you know, ripped out the carpet from... Anyways, so yeah, so see, same carpet. That's what the carpet in The Shining is modeled off of. It's modeled off of the carpet that was at the Chelsea Hotel, because it's a Roman clef. Okay? So I got that there. And I'll put this chart up on my community tab for you guys to all see. Now remember, the elevators, that's a Roman clef for Viva Hoffman. Her first daughter, who's in this picture over here, this girl, her birth was filmed on a camcorder in the 70s. That twin camcorders became a thing, and her dad was Michel Ardur. So he was a filmmaker, and he loved his camcorder. He did a lot of underground films that were questionable, and one of them was filming his daughter's birth, and it was kind of vulgar, very vulgar. Well, the way they start this whole birth video is them trying to get out of the Chelsea to the hospital so she can give birth. And she almost gives birth coming out of the elevator. And so I guess she was wearing this red, like, cape thing, and she fell coming out. She flops out of the elevator coming out. And so when she flopped out of the elevator, and all of the red velvet cape, it was like, so this is what this represents. This represents when Viva was going to the hospital. Now remember, they flashed Danny's face, right? That was because it was filmed and it was turned into an underground film. Well, they played that video over and over and over and over and over again for the daughter who was born in that, to the point where she doesn't have, she goes, these are video memories. I don't even know if these are, I don't have memories. I have video memories. Gives you an idea of what's going to happen to all these kids who grew up on family vlogs. They're not going to have their own memories. They're going to have video memories, just like this girl did. Ominous, right? So yeah. So Danny represents how Viva would show her daughter this movie over and over again. It also got turned into a book. They called it a video diary with stills from the movie and then just Viva commentating on it. This was featured in the BBC documentary on the Chelsea Hotel that was done. It was filmed around the same time The Shining was being filmed, because BBC Arena also did a documentary on the filming of The Shining, and you can find those two on YouTube. If I remember, I'm gonna make a playlist for you guys. Raw. I'll put some other stuff in there. Just lots of interesting shit for you. So yeah, that's what this little inner circle is about. So, side tangent. So yes, Nicole Kidman was in Practical Magic. Mighty Hectate Make It Right. Hectate, who the holiday of that word I can't pronounce, Lupercalia, which became Valentine's Day, right? So she was in Practical Magic, and she was in Eyes Wide Shut. Practical Magic was filmed before Eyes Wide Shut, so My mentor said that's why she was picked. And yeah, it was like, okay, bonus, she was in this movie, and bonus, her dad's a part of the magic circle, and bonus, she's a real life couple with her husband who, bonus, is Tom Cruise. It was like kismet. It was like it was meant to be. And that pissed a lot of people off. It pissed a lot of people off. And they thought, oh, we're going to be able to send Nicole Kidman in and her flunky husband to watch over Stan while they do the movie Eyes Wide Shut. And that's why it took so fucking long to do. Bonus content from me to you. No sources, you're just going to have to take it or leave it. So, Practical Magic is based off of a book written by this woman right here. Lucidity's standing right next to her going, mm-hmm. You see this? Pointing with her horns. Remember, that's my daughter because I'm the mother. The mother. Okay? So, Alice Hoffman. She also worked for Doubleday Publishing. That's how she started her career in publishing, as she started working there. Wow, guys. Is that interesting? That is a full circle right there. And we could make more circles just off of Doubleday Publishing. But for right now, there's just one chart. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining Connections chart. Now, there is a more connections in The Shining. We've talked about some of them, like the twins and Alice, but we talked about that last time and how Remy was channeling them. So this is one chart. I'm pretty proud of it. I think Lucidity looks cool in it. We're going to do more charts like this so you guys can keep them, share them, use them to do your own research, make your own YouTube videos, make your own TikToks, make your own Insta videos, make your own Reddit posts. Just do whatever you want with the information, because it's not really my information, guys. It's Stanley Kubrick's information that he was telling us this entire time. I'm just putting it out there and hoping that more people will take it and make more videos and share more content, because that is my mentor's goal, okay? It's not about me becoming famous because I figured this out. It's about this getting out so losers like Andre Blazah, Andre Epstein, and Maxwell don't get away with the fuck they've been doing, and these other people. Because they've been doing a lot more than just fucking with children or fucking with people. They've been siphoning off our energy and lying to us and all this shit. And it's about time it's all come out. And people aren't getting away with doing this horrible crap anymore. Like, you know, this video of,
We're at the chateau! This is Megan 316. Oh, not so sweet.
Not so sweet at the chateau. So, I'm going to work on some drawing. I also have a song I worked on. You probably heard part of it in here. I've been trying to add in more of my own music I've worked on. Getting back into just sitting here and working on music because it's just, I like it. I don't think I ever want to do like music like, I never want to do music professionally at all. But I like it for therapeutic reasons. I really do. I need to get back into learning more music theory because I love learning. You guys know I love learning creative shit, but it's just very therapeutic, you know, so yeah. That's your magic circle information dump for the day. I'm gonna get some more coffee and work on art. Oh. Well, hello, meat and jammies, like we started. So I'm gonna end the vlog here because I'm trying to make these shorter. We're trying to do daily vlogs, so I did do some more sketching. Yes, my practice is coming along. I'm trying to get lucidity down so I can just summons her my god, my hair at any point. So yeah, see, I got Mr. Frank here. Yeah, we got Mr. Frank here. Yeah. Yeah, so we're editing. I got a bunch of editing done. I got that chart done for us, but that'll be on the community tab. I will try to make a playlist of things that relate to what we talked about, and yeah, the more we know a lot now about The Shining, right? And Nicole Kidman, and Hecate. I have trouble pronouncing that too. I'm so sorry. I butchered a lot. And the name of what St. Valentine's came from, so it's a lot, but remember, the more we know, the more we don't know. But what we do know is all these stars are yours because I gave them to you. Yes, and I am going to end this, so I will see you in the next vlog, and this is not an hour, hopefully. I love you guys. Mwah, still not cringy.
Problem solving is something that schools generally don't teach you. You know, a lot of people don't have a good generalized approach to problem solving. They're not thorough, don't consider all the possibilities, prepare themselves with the right information. If you can develop a kind of generalized approach to problem solving, it's surprising how it helps you in anything.
I don't think. I know.
Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.